All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Houston Rockets video for you. Now, if you enjoy it, hit the like button, hit that sub button. We're about, I want to say 70 subscribers away from 4.5K, which is just a crazy milestone for me. We're getting closer and closer to 5K subs, so if you could hit that like button, if you could hit that sub button, man, pushes the video out to new people. So I really appreciate that. Let's just get into today's video. I don't think it'll be too long. I want to talk about the Rockets signing Doug McDermott. Now, I'm pretty positive I made a video about this around maybe the trade deadline of this season. But basically, the way I see it is the Houston Rockets, they shoot a lot of threes, right? So their three-point statistics are kind of a little out there. In three-point makes per game this past season, they were ranked number 9 at 13.8, which doesn't sound too bad. And then you look at three-point attempted per game, Houston's number 3, so 40.6 threes per game. And it all sounds good, like these statistics sound good at first. And then you look at the team's total three-point percentage, and that was at a mere 33.9%. And it even goes back to last year where it's 34.8%. This is really bad. I mean, that's number 28th in the league. That is just a horrible statistic. And it was even bad last year with James Harden on the squad. So the Houston Rockets, they need more three-point shooters, in my opinion. Now, if Armani Brooks was not on the Houston Rockets at the end of last season, I think that they would have even been lower in three-point percentage. Now, looking at the roster, Armani Brooks is quite honestly the only lethal three-point shooter I see. You know, I know most of the guys can knock down a shot. KPJ, John Wall, I know they can knock them down. Christian Wood's not too bad from deep. But, you know, you get down there, like Daniel House had a horrible season. Sterling Brown, he's a good three-point shooter. Like Eric Gordon, relatively inconsistent. Like most of these guys are just relatively inconsistent, and that's where you get the 33.9%. And for comparison, they worst place 30th percent was Cleveland, and that was 33.6%. So that's only a 0.3 difference. Now you look at the first place, LA Clippers. I'm pretty sure they broke a record, but they shot 40.5%. So that is just a huge difference. Now, I've made a video on Doug McDermott before because I still just think that this team desperately needs three-point shooting. Now, Doug McDermott, if you look at his career, it's nothing really great. 9 points per game. However, you look at the three-point percentage, 40.7% in his career from deep in almost 500 total games. Now, this past season was the best year of his career. 13.6 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, but that's not what stands out so much. And it honestly wasn't even the three-pointers made. He did make 1.7 threes per game, but he only shot 4.3. He played about 24 and a half minutes. It's interesting because this isn't even the most threes Doug McDermott has made in his career. Last season, he made 1.9. And so this was his best offensive year, and it wasn't even close. And just from three-point, he shot 39% last year. He shot 44% the year before, 41%, the year before, 50%. Lethal three-point shooter, but he can also do a little bit more, and that's what we kind of started to see from him in Indiana this season in his third year from Indiana, especially in his 29 starts. But he was just a great three-point shooter. I'm not trying to say 4.3 attempts per game in 24 minutes. That's a lot of threes per game, man, and making almost 2 per game, that's going to be huge for the Houston Rockets. And my guess is that Doug McDermott comes onto this team, and you can throw him at small forward, you can throw him at power forward, it doesn't really matter. And that's what I like about Doug McDermott is he can do a couple of different things. Just on defense, he's pretty horrible on defense. So that is the issue with Doug McDermott. But if he can knock down open threes, if he can knock down contested threes, and he can also score in a multitude of ways. I mean, this season he took almost 6 field goal attempts per game, which is the most he's ever shot, and it's not even close. You have to go all the way back to 2016 where he took 5 shots per game, and that was the closest next thing. So Doug McDermott to the Houston Rockets, I'm sure it would be relatively cheap. But if it's not Doug McDermott, it has to be somebody else, because Armani Brooks can't be our best three-point shooter. He can't be our most trustworthy three-point shooter because he's super young. We don't really know much about his game, to be quite honest. It's not like he played that much, but Armani looks like a lethal three-point shooter. Why not add another lethal three-point shooter off the bench? So let me know your guys' thoughts on signing Doug McDermott. If you like the move or if you don't like the move, let me know who you guys want to sign instead, and I'll see you guys later.